Prompts that make you a better copywriter aren't just about writing faster. They're about writing smarter, deeper, and more strategically. Most people think prompting AI is like rubbing a lamp and waiting for a genie to give you a few magic headlines or product descriptions. But real copywriters, those who understand the psychology behind words, know that prompts are not shortcuts. They are power tools, and if you know how to use them well, they can change everything about how you write. Being a better copywriter starts with asking better questions. Most amateurs use AI like a typewriter. They throw in a product name and ask for a caption. What they get is flat, generic, uninspired. But if you treat AI like a thinking partner, a second brain, or a creative strategist, you unlock its real magic. You begin by prompting it to think, not just write. Try this. Instead of saying, write a product description for a rose face cream, ask, what emotional needs does a rose face cream fulfill for a 35-year-old woman juggling motherhood and work stress? Suddenly, you're not getting words, you're getting insight. And from insight comes better copy. The AI may tell you that rose symbolizes softness, that the act of applying cream is like self-soothing, that your buyer craves a moment of quiet beauty. From that, you can now craft a headline that hits the heart, a moment of peace in every petal. That's not just writing, that's resonance. And you got there through prompting. Here's another prompt that changes the game. Summarize the pain points of someone trying to build a personal brand but struggling with imposter syndrome. What this does is shift your focus from features to feelings. And as any good copywriter knows, feelings sell. Once you get AI to articulate the invisible emotions behind your audience's struggle, your copy can walk into that pain and offer relief. You can write with empathy instead of assumption. Now let's talk voice. Copywriters often struggle with tone. Should I be witty, empathetic, bold? What would this brand sound like if it were a person? Prompt that question. Ask AI. If this brand were a person at a dinner party, how would they talk? What stories would they tell? What jokes would they crack? The answers might surprise you, and once you have that character sketch, everything becomes easier. Headlines, social posts, even customer replies. You're not guessing tone anymore. You're living it. Want to level up even further? Use AI to role-play your audience. Try this. You are a first-time mom who hasn't slept in 3 days. You've just seen an ad for an organic baby lotion. What thoughts go through your head? Now you're seeing the product through the eyes of someone who might buy it. You're not writing from a brief. You're writing from inside someone's life. That is empathy-driven marketing, and it's insanely effective. You can also prompt AI to critique your copy. Most writers just ask AI to rewrite something, but that's a missed opportunity. Ask instead, analyze the following copy for clarity, emotional pull, and conversion power, then suggest specific improvements. Give it your paragraph. What you get back is a kind of copywriting workshop. You'll see which phrases are vague, which sentences drag, and which CTA lacks punch. You're not outsourcing the work. You're sharpening your skills with every edit. Another powerful prompt is this. Write 5 versions of this copy for 5 different emotional states: excited, anxious, skeptical, curious, and tired. Why? Because people don't always scroll through life in one mood. If you can adapt your message to meet your audience's fluctuating emotions, your copy feels more human, more alive, more effective. AI helps you practice that flexibility at scale. Then there's the psychology layer. Great copywriters understand human biases: scarcity, social proof, reciprocity. You can prompt AI to work with these tools intentionally. Ask, write a landing page headline that leverages FOMO for a product launch with limited stock. Or, use the principle of social proof to craft a testimonial carousel for a fitness program. These aren't just prompts, they're mental models. And the more you use them, the more natural they become in your own writing. Here's a lesser-known trick. Prompt AI to act like famous copywriters. Try, rewrite this paragraph in the style of David Ogilvy. Or, give me 5 ad headlines inspired by Joe Sugarman's storytelling approach. You're not copying. You're absorbing technique. You're seeing how rhythm, pacing, and persuasion shift when filtered through a master's voice. Over time, you start picking up those habits yourself. Want to write faster? Don't just ask AI to write your copy. Ask it to give you structure. Prompt. Outline a 5-part email sequence to re-engage cold leads in the wellness niche. You'll get a roadmap. Then you can go prompt by prompt. Now write email 1 with a curiosity-driven subject line and a relatable anecdote. This modular approach doesn't just save time, it helps you think like a strategist. You see how each message builds on the last, how emotional arcs are created over time. Let's talk headlines. Headlines are 80% of the game. Most people ask AI, give me 10 catchy headlines. But catchy isn't enough. Prompt it smarter. Give me 10 emotionally driven headlines for a digital course on confidence, based on the PASS, Problem Agitate Solution framework. Now you're layering strategy into your request. You're telling AI how to think. And when you do that, the results are miles better. Copywriting is structure plus emotion. Prompts help you master both. One of the most powerful prompts I've ever used as a writer is this. What is the unspoken fear behind why someone would hesitate to buy this? That one question will change your entire approach, because behind every no is a hidden reason. AI can surface those fears. Once you know them, you can speak directly to them in your copy. Still unsure? Here's why 97% of our customers almost didn't buy, and why they're glad they did. That line? Born from prompting deeper. Let's not forget storytelling. AI can help you become a better storyteller if you know how to lead it. Ask, give me a 3-part personal story structure I can use to sell a productivity app to busy freelancers. You'll likely get a format like struggle, realization, transformation. Then you can plug in your own story or prompt AI to imagine one. Story is the oldest form of persuasion. Prompts help you use it with purpose. Now here's where it gets wild. You can use prompts to rewire your own writing mindset. If you've ever had writer's block, you know how frustrating it can be. Try this. Act as my creative coach. Motivate me to write a high-converting sales page today. Remind me why my words matter. What comes back may sound cheesy, but it works. Words of encouragement, reframes, mindset shifts. AI can be your writing therapist. And yes, you can prompt AI to teach you the craft itself. Ask. Explain the difference between copywriting and content writing with examples of each. Or, break down the AI to model and give a real-world ad that uses it. You're no longer waiting for expensive courses or books. You're learning on demand. And that knowledge, when internalized, shows up in every sentence you write. Use prompts to simulate client briefs. Act as a client who sells handmade soaps. Give me a brand voice guide, target audience breakdown, and a list of marketing goals. Now practice writing based on that. You'll become faster, more adaptable, and client-ready. You can even prompt AI to show you what not to do. Write a bad version of this ad that feels salesy, manipulative, and vague. Then fix it and explain why. It's one of the best ways to train your copywriting muscle. Spot the mistakes, learn the fix, apply it next time. And finally, one of my favorite prompts of all time. What would this copy sound like if it was written from a place of genuine service, not just selling? When you write with that mindset, service over sale, clarity over cleverness, something shifts. The words feel cleaner. The impact feels deeper. You're no longer writing to manipulate. You're writing to move. That is where true copywriting power lives. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned writer, prompts aren't crutches. They're launch pads. They're how you explore voice, emotion, strategy, psychology, and structure without the burnout. They teach you to think like a copywriter, not just write like one. Next time you sit down to write, don't just stare at the blinking cursor. Ask something better. Go deeper. Use prompts that train your intuition, sharpen your instincts, and stretch your limits. Because in the world of words, the better the prompt, the stronger the persuasion. The stronger the persuasion, the greater the impact. And the greater the impact, that's when your words stop being text on a screen and start becoming action in the world. Prompt like a yogi, write like a master.